Good morning, everyone. It is right the middle of October and we're at the truck camp. Let's unlock this today. All right. So everyone's been begging me to make videos at the truck camp. And it's not quite winter yet. I want to make a really good video of this place in like February when it's nice and cold. We gotta get the dead mouse, if you saw that, out of here and reset. So the mothballs get taken out of here whenever we're in here. And some of these mouse traps have mold on them, and that doesn't attract mice very well at all. So I need to take these, clean them, and bring them back out here. And also this firewood, we have a nice free side of the road bin for it. I need to go grab a giant power bank I bought earlier in the year that someone's borrowing from me. I got this big EcoFlow power bank that can run a microwave and a refrigerator in here for like a week. So I've been looking to find for the truck camp a mini fridge that would fit under here. Now, I didn't exactly bring back a mini fridge, but I brought back something that's pretty cool that we're going to put in here. I also want to put a microwave up here, and I have a very old one I found on the side of the road like 4 years ago. It's something like you've never seen before. I'm going to put it right up here. Let me unpack it. And I got to do some vacuuming in here next time I come out. With the big power bank, I'll bring the vacuum too. But some of this stuff like maple syrup tapping, we're just going to throw up in the attic. We need to make space right here because this is going to be our little kitchen area. And we need to get electricity over here somehow. Do I really want to do more actual electrical work, or I might just run an extension over for now? It would be easy to do actual electric work, especially if I just put a plug on the ceiling right there. I could fish wires through the rafters upstairs pretty simply, because we do have power upstairs and the sides of the floor are open. So I want to make this thing actually livable to a better sense. We still got the cooking stove, but I want to do some more with it. So the mice did make a mess. There's some poops and chewed up paper towel all over the table from the summer. And this right here, they chewed that open. This was supposed to be a mouse deterrent. It smells like mint. It actually seems like it attracted them to that shelf. But we need to do some cleaning in here. And some of this stuff can just be stored upstairs. But I'll show you what I got inside the road for free. This is pretty awesome. Oh yeah, that actually looks pretty good right there. But I plan on putting it on the floor here. I wanted to find like one of those vintage looking fridges, you know, the new fridges they make, but they look like they're from the 50s. But in order to make that fit, I'd have to remove this one shelf, which wouldn't be that hard to do. But that's either going to go on the floor or stay right there. That was free. It looks like something that would be at a breakfast bar of a motel or a gas station. It is a commercial unit. It's built very heavy duty. But we can use it as a refrigerator totally. Pretty cool. It's very clean. I love things like that. But this would be perfect, you know, just to use as a cooler out here. I like it. Does it have lights in here? Does it have LED lights? Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because it's a display for a store. Huh, that actually goes good on top of there. So that's a microwave, a really old one. It's got a dial. It has the time of how long to cook different things. This was free on the side of the road, I think like 4 years ago. Thought it was cool because I've never seen one like it. It's like a cube, and the magnetron is on top facing down. Usually they're on the side facing in. No turntable, you have to manually turn your food. Actually, because it's from above, I don't think you have to turn your food. I think it would actually be pretty even. Takes a little bit longer. It's underpowered compared to newer ones, but I like the vintage look. That actually fits nice. Look, it's the same size. I like that. And this was a free side of the road bug zapper I actually found this weekend. Don't know if it works yet, but it's a big one. I like it. And you can't actually replace the lights if they're burned out. So a lot of people just put things on the side of the road and they work perfectly fine. But if one or both of the lights is burned out, it's not that big of a deal. The bug zapper is probably over $100 brand new, but those lights, you can get them pretty cheap at the hardware store. So what do you think? Maybe that whole thing would fit nicely back here somewhere. Right next to our table, maybe on the floor or up top. We got to get some lights on in here and see how that works. Maybe we won't even occupy this area. Maybe that'll just be a pantry for like canned food hanging out in here in the winter. I've had this can of food. It's been out here for multiple winters now. I bet you it's probably still good. We got to open that at some point. But we got to get lights in here, so we're going to come back another day with a insane power bank and maybe our little Honda generator. It's a dreary day. Tomorrow's supposed to be a little drier. Still rainy, but it's good. So, I've talked about for years in this thing replacing the windshield with some plastic, because this is corrugated metal, but they make corrugated clear plastic for skylights and making greenhouses. Should I do that? As it is now, if you're back here, nobody can look around this corner if they're at either of the doors. Kind of like that privacy, so maybe I won't do that. But I talked about for like 4 years building the upstairs. No one thought I was ever going to do that, but I did. The comments went crazy saying the truck can't hold that. It has. Last year we got snow up to my waist. It shed every little bit of snow because the roof is so steep. We got multiple windstorms where we lost trees in the past year. It never blew over like everyone said. This old truck is so strong. These walls are so thick. It held the upstairs. Now, could I have done the upstairs with reusable materials? I could have. It would have been a pain in the butt to source. And this newer stuff is so cheap. This is not old growth. Sustainably grown. It is garbage wood compared to old houses. But you know what it is good for? Compared to old growth, this stuff is light as a feather. It barely weighs anything. And a lot of people say I overbuilt it. I shouldn't have done 16 on center. I probably could have got away with 24 on center, or because it's a camp, I could have got away with like that. You see how I didn't put a beam right there? That's only because of the junction up there, and I'm not a great carpenter with cuts. I could have got away with half as many up there, just like that, and it probably would have been fine. It's a camp. But I do know the wiring's up to code, and you just plug it in like a camper over there to either your generator or whatever. All this is from the big 100 amp diesel generator, which is no longer at the truck camp. We're going to use a smaller unit. That was just an insanity thought we had with the truck camp. We brought that big generator more just for show because it was so cheap online. And it's a fun thing to tinker with. I like those old diesel engines. In an emergency, it's mobile. I like that. But it's unrealistic for running stuff like this. You just need the tiniest little 1,000-watt generator. You don't need that big 13,000-watt generator. Anyways, we're going to close this place back up, and we'll come back out here in a couple days. Nice quiet little generator. It's coming back here to our power bank. This power bank I got during a Amazon sale for like 30% off. Regularly it's over $2,000, this big thing. Finally got it back from my friend who was using it in the back of his truck to run a chest freezer for hunting. Got it back today. So you'll see on here, it shows you the input, the output. Currently nothing's running off of it, and it would take 5 hours for it to currently charge. Now if we go to the back side of it, it'll have a switch right here. Oh, it's actually on fast charge. Slow charge is a more quality charge. It'll last longer when you're using it. But we already got it on fast charge. Usually fast charge, it would show me like 2 hours if nothing's running off it. I think it's because this thing is literally dead. I think the charging will speed up once it gets charged a little bit. That's what I think it is. Usually the input from that generator would be like 1600. Yeah, I think it's just because this thing is super dead. Anyways, we have a whole bunch of chargers off of it. It comes with a 30 amp plug, a bunch of 20 amp plugs, and EcoFlow, if you buy 2 of these units, has an adapter that plugs into these and somehow gives you a 50 amp. Pretty cool. So we come over here, we are gonna grab this cord, and we're gonna plug the truck camp into it. Here we go, plugged in the truck camp. Now we should be able to go around and get the lights on. Is that the problem? Oh, come on, our lights aren't working in the truck camp. This is why you have to turn the plugs on. I believe everything in here is GFCI protected. Yep. Got a light here. We got 2 lights upstairs. We have a light over here by the door. Nice. And when that power bank's 100%, it can run everything in here for like a week. I'm assuming this thing too. So I want to shim this to make it perfectly straight, but we got to figure out if this thing even works. Let's plug it in to our power bank. And that generator, what's cool about it is it will rev up by itself. What the? How'd that happen? It wasn't me. Ooh, you heard that? The generator just revved up because it has to make more power. So now we got the input and output. Let's see. There's no lights in it. You would think the lights would be on non-stop because it's a display item. Does it only come on when you open it? At least we know it works. The fan there's blowing. I swear I'm already feeling it being cold after 30 seconds. But it is a cold day. I see no reason why it's not going to work. This thing's very clean. I was kind of hoping the light would be on all the time like a store display. That's okay. And this I know works. I want to buy like a black ceramic tile. I guess it doesn't matter what color, just to shim it so it can open. Because you see, when I slide this back here to make it straight, the door can't open because of this. So I just need to get like a ceramic tile or some kind of shim for the microwave to sit on top of. It's pretty cool. I like how it's industrial. So we'll let this thing get cold. Now we have a place to put drinks. If we bring meat out here to cook, we got a place for it now. Pretty cool. Eventually I find everything pretty much free. Pretty much everything in this truck camp, furniture-wise, is free. Those crates were free. That cooler was free. That cot was free. This stuff is my winter stuff. That was not free. Counter, the kegs, the chair, this crate, that little bench, these crates, this. All that was free. This was free. That burner was free. We got lots of good stuff. So I want to go out to the store and I want to get some Halloween lights. I like the colors of Halloween. Purple, green, and orange lights. You can't buy them around Christmas time. I kind of want to string some up in here. We got to do it now while it's October. And then while I'm at the store, I want to buy paper towels and some cleaner. I want to clean this up because you see the mice have been living in here. There's little poops. I want to sanitize this so we can actually cook And now that it's October, the weather should be cold enough. I want to start a little stove fire, do some cooking with that. But now that we got a fridge, that extends the time we can be out here by a lot. So once that generator charges this, you don't have to run the generator for literally half a week. This thing's good. This thing produces a lot of power. That's a very big battery. So it's only charging slow right now because it's so empty and dead. But if you charge this thing on a regular basis, it takes 2 hours for that generator to charge it, because this is what I brought on my Alaska trip in my truck with that generator. At first, I was charging this with the truck. I had a Harbor Freight 2,000 watt, I think it's called Thunder or something like that, inverter. It would charge this thing slowly as I drive. Sometimes it wouldn't get to 100. It wasn't a very fast charge, because when it was on fast charge, I didn't like the gauge in my truck showing that I was barely making any excess power. I didn't want to wreck the alternator, so I had this thing on slow charge only, which only puts 500 input. And doing that, it worked good. A month into the trip, the inverter from Harbor Freight broke, so we relied on the generator 100%. That generator is good, but it's touchy. It has a sensor in the generator. If the oil level is too low, it'll shut off so it doesn't hurt itself. And I find myself having to top off the oil about twice a month, so it is a slight oil burner, the Honda generator, but supposedly those can last 30,000 hours when most gas generators die before 5,000. So that's why I bought it. Small, quiet, compact, and supposedly reliable. And we got I can charge my phone very easily out here. So this was during a sale. I got it 30% off from Amazon. It has an option to buy solar panels to charge it, but that's really not feasible for me because I'm always moving around pretty quickly. So the generator is a better option for me, since, like I said, once this thing is good and running again, you only have to run the generator 2 hours every couple days. So that's well worth it. But we're gonna leave the generator running now. We're gonna go to the store about an hour away. When we come back in a few hours, this thing should be nicely charged up. We're gonna get some food, some cleaner, sterilize this place. And we're gonna have a good night out here for Halloween. Try to also get a pumpkin. Maybe we can carve that tonight for fun. We also gotta see, does this bug zapper work? We're gonna do this right now, because this would be nice in the summertime to just leave where it exactly was, and you can leave the door open, it'll kill all the bugs. So I have a bug zapper in my house for the ladybugs, or the Asian lady beetles technically. Oh, it works perfectly. Nice. We have like $100 bug zapper for free. Great. So I never minded the Asian lady beetles. Everyone tells me that they bite. They do not. They land on me every single day, especially if I'm wearing like a red shirt. They're attracted to me like a flower. I'll have them landing on me all the time. I'll have crowds of thousands of them in my windows. But then once I realized they were leaving trails of poop on my ceilings, they had to go. So I got a bug zapper. Middle of the night, the bug zapper is the only thing lit up in the house. I have it on a timer, so it turns on when I'm sleeping in the living room, then it shuts off before daybreak. Only light in the house. It attracts every ladybug over to it, and it zaps them all. End of the problem. We don't have infestations like we used to, thanks to the bug zapper. And thankfully, Walmart had a bunch of bug zapper bulbs very cheap on their discount shelf, and I bought them because it blows about one every other season. So we'll let this place run, and we will be back in a couple of hours. Alright everyone, we are back after a couple of hours. Generator's still running. And now that we're back from the store, yes, you can see it's charging a lot faster. We're up to nearly 1,700 input, output for the lights. is 92 watts. We have 4 bulbs. I don't think that the fridge is running. So 1 hour until full, then we'll shut the generator down. And I just went out to the store, and it actually fit in here perfectly what I bought. Bought 1 case of coolers that fit up there by less than ½ an inch. Underneath here, steak, burgers, those are sausage patties, cheese, butter, everything fit in there actually perfectly. This will work out. Yeah, we're gonna make something in here later because we have company coming. And look, it even has a key where you could lock it. See that? Some kind of weird key because you see the latch under there. So maybe this did come from like a hotel and they would lock it out when it wasn't breakfast time. I put a bucket cover here that gives that enough elevation where the door can actually open now on the microwave, which it's got splatter. It's got to be cleaned. Everything got to be cleaned in here. So we'll put our food up here for now. And I bought some Halloween decorations. I want to decorate this with a bunch of purple lights where we don't have to use those. Make it look creepy in here. I brought a couple pumpkins. We'll make some jack-o'-lanterns. I'm probably going to make a totally different video from this showing what I'm doing. But I'm going to clean right now, set up decorations, and we'll make a much shorter Halloween video. Just a short, brief one. Alright, I've disinfected the counter. We're gonna vacuum the floor. I brought a vacuum because that's the only way I can see myself cleaning all this nastiness up with that lip. Give it a vacuum in here. There's no evidence mice ever got upstairs. The traps got the ones that were venturing in here. Alright, we got some decorations when we were out at the Home Depot. Let's set them on up. And this guy was free on the side of the road. It's not really a Halloween decoration, but... Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize it's pouring rain out right now. A lot of water dripping here. Let's just put this inside the door. Will it run like that? I didn't even realize it was raining out there. We got some decorations up. Look at this guy driving the truck. It's pretty cool. If I back up, see, I went down a few times. I'm still working on it. I didn't even intend on showing you guys it yet because I'm still working. Oh yeah, we got a 3-way switch, I forgot. But up here, I'm still working on it. I'm not done yet. I'm still connecting it around the door here. But it looks pretty cool. Got it going up the ladder. I put it around the back door, around the ceiling. So it says we got 23 minutes until full. Then when we shut it down, it'll tell us how long it can run what's plugged into it. So I got the spider. I'm gonna put up some big webs up there. I also got a projector that's supposed to make it look like spiders are crawling all over the place. But I'm still working on it. It's raining pretty good right now, but I'm gonna be going underneath here, take that window out of there, and we're gonna put a strip of purple lights underneath the truck. So at night it'll look like it's glowing. It'll have an eerie glow. I can crawl through there. I'm gonna put some lights underneath it too. But the generator with the exhaust pipe out the door is working fine. We got a CO detector in here, so we're good. We'll start the wood stove in a bit. So I got some tacks, hammer. Then we'll clean up all this trash. These tacks will work a lot better up here. You see the duct tape doesn't like sticking to the window and it's peeling off. It also looks like garbage. The lights are gonna be off when we're using these, so it really doesn't matter how it looks. But the silver duct tape actually blends in perfectly to the walls downstairs. You can barely even notice it, right? No problem downstairs. Since we can't nail into the metal, that's the best choice for downstairs. But upstairs, Anywhere we're attaching it to wood, we gotta tack it. It'll look better. Yeah, that looks a lot cleaner, doesn't it? No duct tape up here anymore. That'll look good when it's dark. See outside we got our fire pit. If you saw my summer video, it's too hot to cook in here, so we got our little campsite we built out back. Okay, I think that's all we need for the tacks. I'm gonna use this last strip of purple we have to go along the perimeter of the upstairs. We're not gonna decorate the storage area, just this side of the attic. When I'm filming the Halloween video, I won't even show that side. That'll look cool when it's dark outside. You see the projector right there? Makes it look like there's creepy crawlies on the ceiling. Alright everyone, just like when we started charging this, it started off slow. Now that we're in the last couple percent, it started charging slower again. So the generator naturally started idling slower, and we're just gonna shut it down right now. Finally some quiet. Looking cool in here. So, as of now, just give it a moment. With all these Christmas lights running, and I can hear the fridge is running, it's saying it would last 1 day with the current draw. Now the fridge does not run all the time. As soon as this thing takes a break and shuts itself off, it's gonna give us a much bigger number just for the lights. So in reality, we got like half a week with this. You turn the microwave on, it's probably gonna tell you 2 hours or something, because I know I've loaded this up with space heaters just to see. It can run 4 space heaters for about an hour. So once this shuts off, it'll give us a much higher number. And it looks pretty cool in here. Can't wait until it gets dark. We'll start the wood stove up, start cooking in here. Today is not a hot day. It's also not a cold day. It's dreary and raining. Perfect night for a camp like this. So I think this fridge is going to do a lot of running right now because it's got a lot of items in there. It has to get cold. So we're going to use this thing as a gauge to tell you. It is amazing that only 120 watts with the fridge running. That fridge is very efficient. So we're going to go ahead, unplug the truck camp, unplug this strip of lights, take a look at it. Wow, that fridge is running right now. That fridge only uses 39 watts. That is impressive. That's very impressive. So now, because I want to know, we're going to unplug the fridge. We're going to re-plug in the Christmas lights. We're going to re-plug in those lights with more Christmas lights. So I guess running all the Christmas lights, yeah, we're only going to get about a day of power out of this thing. Yeah, because it's consistent. When I was using this thing on the road trip, we weren't using it consistently for things. All right. So I guess we still only get a day of power out of it. I bet we'd get more than a day if this was slow charged. Like I said, if you fast charge, whether it's an electric car battery or even your phone, you're going to realize that charge doesn't last as long. It's not a quality charge. If you trickle charge something, that battery is going to last longer, typically speaking. But this thing's nice. It's running. It's really cold in there. And it does have a temperature gauge. Let me get this pepper out of here. How cold is it saying we are? Fahrenheit. What side is Fahrenheit? Fahrenheit's got to be the bottom one. It's running at 38 degrees. That's good for refrigeration. It will get colder because it's running and running. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's even got a little gauge in there. I love this little thing. I'm glad I found that thing. So cool. It's also got little feet under here that I can adjust because I can visually see. Oh, no. It's the crate. See, half of it's up here, half of it's down there. I can extend that foot. I should be able to straighten this out pretty nice. But we're gonna do some vacuuming now in here. So what I did realize about that power bank there, fridges and stuff are fine to leave plugged into it while it's running on the generator. But if you have a microwave or something with big draw, the little generator can't exactly handle a microwave and charging that battery at the same time. So the generator tries to compensate for more power than it can, and it'll just go vroom, slow down, vroom, slow down. And that does not seem like it's good for the generator at all. So the generator shuts off if I have to use the microwave, or I think the vacuum cleaner is going to use a lot of power. I want to vacuum up the floor, vacuum that ash, vacuum that. There's a little bit of dirt I tracked in upstairs I want to vacuum before I get my mattress in here. Oh no! Ah! 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 There we go. All right, I vacuumed everything down here. If I want it any cleaner, I'm gonna have to do some mopping, and I don't think I'm gonna do that today. So this thing here uses about 1400 watts, because I was reading over 1500 with that and everything in here. That power bank can handle up to 3000 watts. So yes, this did use a good amount of power. But we got it a lot cleaner in here. Spiderwebs, this was actually kind of fun stretching it everywhere. That was cool. I've never actually used this, but I see people put it all over their bushes. I just stretched it until I could connect it to anything. That was pretty cool stuff. But thanks for watching this Halloween setup video, everyone. And have a great day. None of these lights are actually flashing. It's a camera trick. The camera showing, as I'm looking around, I realized that some of these seem like they're flickering or not lit up. It's the camera. The camera, I think, is aligning with the bulb's flash rate. That's why sometimes with flashlights, it looks like they're flashing. They're not actually flashing. Not to the naked eye anyways. But to the camera's eye, it can sometimes see that. Every light bulb in the world actually is turning on and off hundreds or even thousands of times every second very, very quickly. That's why with certain reptiles, or if you have pet birds, you can literally drive them nuts and harm them if you have lights with a flash rate that is slow enough that they can see it, but fast enough that a human can't see it. Believe it or not, certain pets, you can't have regular light bulbs around them. It will drive them crazy. But that's why you can sometimes see lights that aren't actually doing what they're doing. They are either flashing, they appear to be off, or doing something weird when you're filming. Yeah, you just saw something there on the camera turn on or something. It didn't actually do that. Yep, that's flashing on the camera. That is not flashing in real life. The flash rate of that section of lights is lining up too much. You see that? It only flashes certain times when I move the camera. See that? I'm messing up the flash rate by blocking or moving around, something like that I don't understand, I guess. Pretty interesting though. It's also supposed to stop. It's also supposed to completely stop raining this evening. So we might be able to carve pumpkins in my Halloween video outside, and the generator I can put away. We likely won't need that again during this truck camp. So we can put the generator back in the truck. Don't even need that. Can clean up these wires, put the vacuum away, just have the big power bank. Because tonight when I'm filming that video, I'll have these lights off. It's just going to be the creepy lights. Just want to film a short Halloween video, showing a little bit of cooking, stuff like that. I'm not going to make it a 2-hour video like I usually do out here. We'll save that for like February.